First and foremost, I want to welcome Heather Grace to the call this evening. She's been just an angel with us since we first met her on our wellness initiative trip in Puebla. And that we did in November of 2019. And it's a great story. She just, wanted to really participate in making a difference in this world. And it was her first introduction to Regenrus. And it just kind of this wonderful story has blossomed from there. And we're so excited to have you, Heather, tonight. She's an amazing angel in the sense of she's a pediatric nurse, taking care of our little ones and our kiddos, and so grateful for everything that you do there. She's also very busy. She's a case manager and a nurse supervisor. So not only does she have patients she takes care of, she also manages nurses and cases. So she's quite a busy young lady. Another really great thing about her is, since she became part of this, is she is one of our Regenrus founding leaders. And also on our science team. So we're so grateful to have her here tonight. She's going to be sharing some really great information that I know from my heart I'm always interested in learning about, and that is preventative, being proactive, and just wellness tips. So welcome, Heather, and we do have you on mute. So if you could unmute and join the call.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today and be speaking on our topic on wellness. And I apologize, I had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I hope that you can hear me okay and see me okay. I also, yes, have just wanting to make sure that we're all set for tonight. I had another computer glitch and I just fixed that. So happy to be here and to be a part of the Regenrus Cares team. Tonight, we're going to be talking about wellness and prevention. And I have a passion to be working with all the ladies that I get the opportunity to work with at Regenrus and Regenrus Cares to bring wellness to the entire world in many, many different ways and facets. And so tonight, what I wanted to talk about was: are you living out your passion with the most energy to live your most vibrant life? And would you like to? I think all of us would like to do that. And how do we do that? And one of the key ways is by prevention and wellness. And we define prevention as our efforts aimed at reducing the occurrence and severity of disease. And then wellness is the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to a state of holistic health, improving our quality of life and expanding the potential for living our more vibrant life and most vibrant life. And within that, we become aware of and practice good health choices to create something, a more successful and balanced life. And we all know that, I think, wellness is a very large topic. It's multifaceted. And today we're going to talk about the components of wellness and 7 habits that promote wellness. And then we hope to and look to in the future to delve into this incredible topic that just helps us be the best that we can be in future synergy calls. And we all are on our unique and own special wellness journey. So wherever we are in our journey, that's where we are. And that is fine. Some of us are working and are so busy we haven't even maybe thought of it. Some of us are overwhelmed by the thought of, oh my gosh, all these things that I need to do to keep myself and my family healthy. And then some of us are doing it. And some of us start and we stop. But wherever we are, it's our journey, and we're always moving to be living our best life. And one thing to think about is that we could just make one small change daily or one day, and if those accumulate, then there's big changes that come through that. So we hope to take this subject and delve into different pieces and make it attainable and achievable, and for us, all of us, to learn. And so we are living our most vibrant life, and we have all the energy to do that. So
I was going to ask a question for you, Heather. I know we popped up this slide for you, but you and I have had many discussions about wellness and proactive and prevention, and it truly is about living out, our best lives and our more vibrant lives. That's very important to each and every one of us. So, how do you feel? I know we're going to be sharing the 7 tips. How do you feel in this amazing topic that you have, and the areas that we're talking about here, wellness, whether it's social or physical or psychological, which is mental health and wellness. So what do you think we as individuals, for whether it's self-care or caring for our loved ones and our family, what are the best things that we can be doing in these areas or this topic of wellness?
Okay, so in this topic of wellness, when we are, talking about social, physical, psychological, intellectual, environmental, and spiritual well-being, there are 7 wellness habits that we can think about and learn about and put into practice that will have an effect in all of these areas to help us grow and move within our wellness journey. And those 7 habits include nutrition, exercise, movement, sleep, hydration, well-being, and reflection. And thinking about all these 7 habits, we're also including the idea of mind and body and self-care. We know that one of the major causes of dis-ease or in the body or illness is stress as an underlying cause. And so talking about these 7 habits that we're going to talk about, that is going to overall have a de-stressor effect on our body. And in conjunction with that, taking self-care, practicing wellness and doing self-care activities also lowers our stress and increases our immune system. And so there's a connection between the mind and body. So what we're thinking in our minds, our spiritual practices, and then that effect on our body and how we feel, how stress and impacts the body and causes illness or dis-ease within the body.
How, as busy people we are, women are on this call, men as well, but it's like we're so busy. How do we easily put these 7 tips into daily practice? So as you share that, kind of think of how we can simplify and start where we are.
Okay, that is wonderful questions, because it's wonderful to hear about this, learn about it, but really we want to implement it and we want to receive the benefits of implementing that. And we are all so very, very busy. So when we think about these habits, we can think about, we could make one change a day, or we could add something in for a week. And if we pick one small thing that we think that we can do in our day. And as I walk through the different 7 habits of wellness, I'm going to give an example of how we can move that into our day. But if
Great.
we choose one thing and we do it for 21 days, that turns into a habit. And a habit isn't something that we actually have to think about. It's like we're just acting it out and doing it. So thinking about adding one small thing and trying to do it 21 days, and all of a sudden it'll become a part of your daily life, and something that we're not thinking that we're going to fit in. So we can move into talking about nutrition. We can start talking about that first. And so thinking about nutrition, there's different things that we can do. We know a well-balanced diet provides all the energy that we need to keep active throughout the day, and nutrients that we need for growth and repair to stay strong and healthy and help prevent disease in the body. And so choosing our foods can profoundly affect our life. And one thing that we could think about easily is adding maybe more vegetables into the day. We could say, I'm just going to add, one salad every day to my diet. Or you can say, I'm going to explore fruits and vegetables, maybe something you haven't tried before, and adding something new a couple of times a week. And then another idea is that we want to choose foods that positively impact our body. So we're thinking about foods that are not processed, and adopting a diet that is rich in vegetables, fruits, good fats, and quality proteins. And so one easy thing to do, I maybe or maybe not, depending on our lives, is thinking about maybe having fresh meat and cooking that, and moving away from processed foods, or maybe taking once a day, maybe one processed food out of our diet. So thinking about how we can implement that. Um, I'll just share that, I love all the Regenrus Cares Wellness products. And one simple thing that I do is I do use the Regen and the Renew. And so we know that they have all natural ingredients in it, like curcumin and turmeric and resveratrol. And so one thing that I do that's easily is I take my Renew and my Regen daily. And that's one thing that I do. It makes me feel healthy, builds my immune system, and makes me stronger. And it's something that I do in the morning and in the afternoon, and it's something simple. So kind of thinking about your day and when can you simply add something in, and picking one thing to work on. And then moving into exercise, we all know that exercise is good for us, but how do we make it attainable for us? And a couple of ideas are, yes, we know it's recommended that 3 times a day, exercising for 60 minutes is what is recommended. And we are also busy, and that might take a lot of thought. And obviously it does take time. So one thing we could think about is doing something for 10 minutes every day, adding, if we're at work, getting up and walking around the office, or going outside and walking around the office, even walking around our house, just getting up at different increments during the day to move. We could add that into our daily, if is an easy thing to do. And we know that there's many, many benefits from exercising. It reduces stress, along with it, the physical benefits of improved health and strength, body composition, and then mastery of movement. So we all do have busy lives, and we could think about taking 10 minutes a day to exercise, walking around, exploring some of your favorite activities, taking a walk, dancing with your partner. Making exercise varied and fun is one way that we can add it into our daily lives. And then following exercise, movement. And the difference between movement and exercise is movement is more about stretching our body. And we want to restore the ability to move in the natural range of emotion, I'm sorry. And so that is that supports a lack of pain, restored posture, improved power and strength. And that helps promote freedom of injury. And some ideas are yoga, tai chi, and just basic stretching. You can look up basic stretches that you can do throughout the day. And how could we implement them? At your desk, there are desk stretches that are on the internet, and you can just sit at your work desk and you can stretch your arms and your shoulders and your legs, and you can maybe set a timer and take a few minutes throughout the day to add movement into your day.
I know, and Heather, there's a lot of great devices that people are using these days, like Fitbits and Apple Watches and trackers that can set like a little alarm for people to, I know that's what I use, just try to every hour get up and move. And I actually try to introduce more steps in the house to drink smaller glasses of water, so I have to go all the way downstairs to go get and refill it instead of bringing the big water up. So that's some of the creative ways that I try to do it for myself. But I know we're moving into a really exciting topic, that is sleep. It's so important for people.
Yes, yes. And we all know sleep is so important for all of us. And, the recommended amount of time, generally speaking, is 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And, sometimes that's not necessarily realistic for all of us. We have very, very busy schedules with children and other social obligations, and sometimes work is takes a considerable amount of our time. So, so what do we do with that? Um, well, we take small steps and we seek improvement rather than perfection. And we know that sleep deprivation is a common condition in America. You know, 1 in every 3 people report that they do have some experience with this disorder. And we know that the side effects of not getting enough sleep are increased susceptibility to illness, such as heart attacks and diabetes and brain fog, and or skin and so what we want to do is how can we help increase our sleep? And there's 3 different things that we could do. One is starting a sleep hygiene, so a pattern before we go to bed. And again, it can be a ritual, and it can be just something as simple as taking a shower, drinking a cup of tea, kind of working in some self-care. Again, we're going to bring that into mind and body, help reduce our stress, and that also can help. That's important in sleeping as well, taking that, being thoughtful and taking an extra, maybe extra steps. Another thing is maybe just turning off whatever screen we're on 5 or 10 minutes early so that we're reducing the blue light that we get. That blue light is very stimulating, and it limits our serotonin and melatonin production. And so towards the end of the evening, we kind of want to move away from that blue light. So, and again, we do need to be on our screens for many, many reasons, but that could be another way that we can make a small step towards our wellness and being thoughtful about that. And then personally for me, I do use rest. And we know that has all natural ingredients, magnesium and skullcap and chamomile, to name just a few. And those are items or that help us just calm our brain. They prep our brain to get ready for sleep and then to help us get into uh, deeper cycles of sleep in REM and have more throughout the night. And we know that the benefit of REM is helping our bodies and our brain regenerate and that's kind of that cleaning time and the time that it's repairing overnight. And so that's kind of one easy thing that I do. It just takes a couple of minutes, a half hour before I go to sleep, to use rest. And we know just adding a little bit of sleep each night is going to profoundly affect our wellness and eliminates inflammation and the brain fog, and the heart attack, just to name a few. So sleep is super, super important. And hopefully we'll delve into that more on another call in the future.
I like that, Heather. I agree, because sleep is all about restoring. And as humans, we've been getting less and less sleep because so much distractions. And so I'm so excited you shared this information with us. Now I know hydration is always a fun topic. I know I personally drink 1/2 of my body weight in ounces of water every day. And so we hear all the great things about hydration and what that does. So can you share some good information and tips around how we can keep ourselves hydrated?
Yes, that is so wonderful that you do all those steps towards hydration, because hydration, like you said, is so important. And it's no simpler way to improve your health than to increase your water intake. And so that is one very, I kind of say this, it's very easy to add a glass of water to your day or things like that. But in reality, I'm a nurse. And in different shifts or different days I have to tell you, I have to set a clock to drink because it can be hours before I drink. So one, like Cindy said, we do want to drink half our body weight or a third of our body weight in ounces. So thinking about how much you weigh, and then taking a half or a third, and that number in ounces is what you'd want to drink. And so just as an example, if you are 140 pounds, you're going to be drinking, we're rounding here a little bit, but 47 ounces of water, which equals 6 to 7 cups of water a day. And so that is what you would need to support yourself. And, you know, increasing your water intake, you know, helps your joints become less inflamed. Calories are processed more efficiently. Your digestion improves, and the essential life processes carried out in your body go as they should, and they leave you feeling more energy and are you have a more vital you just feel more alive and more energy. And it also does improve skin tone, and your hair becomes less brittle. And so thinking about how we can do that, again, a timer or equating drinking a cup or a glass with a part of your day. I'm going to take my 10-minute break at 9, I'm going to have a glass of water. Or before I eat, I'm going to have a glass of water. Pairing it with something in your day helps remind you to drink your water, and also can make it an enjoyable time as well. And I think another wonderful thing that you said, Cindy, is that you sip your water. So one key piece, or what is a great benefit, is the way that you hydrate. So when you have your water, sipping it all throughout the day really sustains your body a little better. It is better than just kind of gulping like 3 full glasses at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But adding it any way that works for you and that you can do it is wonderful. And you're improving your overall wellness, and you're being mindful about it.
Right. I was thinking, Heather, too, what might be a safe thing for me personally, it would be perhaps if minimally you should have a third of your body weight, but, optimally, if you're one that wants to do the best for your body, drinking half your body weight is what I've heard is really good. And I know we did have another synergy call where we featured Russell Mariani, and we have a whole information. So if you visit the Regenrus YouTube channel, you can also learn a lot more about hydration under our synergy call with Russell Mariani. I invite folks to go check that out. But thank you. That's so important, Heather. And
No, he is the expert. So I totally agree. There's incredible wealth of information and a lot of science as well that helps us understand how it works and how to drink most effectively for our bodies.
we're learning all the time, aren't we, Heather?
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yes. How about the last two, well-being and reflection? Those are exciting, and a lot around self-care and, your spirituality and all kinds of wonderful things. I love those. So why don't you share with us about those?
Oh, I would love to. So, when we think about well-being is a practice of mindfulness, and this is tying into that mind-body um, relationship. And so, when we think about well-being exercises, we're also thinking about our self-care. And interestingly enough, all of the things that we're going to talk about and these mindfulness exercises and well-being and self-care is a great reduction. It reduces our stress greatly. And so as much as we can incorporate this into our life, we will feel overall wellness benefits. And when I talk about practicing mindfulness, it's guiding us to pay attention to our thoughts, our relationships, and our automatic reactions and actions, and to that it helps us to lead more calmer lives and have a more connected lifestyle because we're just sitting and being quiet. And the things that are mindfulness practices are things like meditation, prayer, and yoga. It also is just spending quiet time with yourself. And lighting a candle, drinking a cup of tea, reading something that's inspirational to you, uh, keeping a journal. These are all just moments to and think about yourself and your relationship to yourself and others. And that leads us into reflection. So, reflection is coming out of well being, but it is actually taking a moment to sit and reflect upon all the amazing things that you have done. And you can incorporate this in your mindfulness exercises, or this can be another practice or another moment where you think about in your everyday, take a moment to think about all the wonderful things that you did to improve your life. And it's celebrating those successes. And then also thinking about them and saying, oh my gosh, they've moved into huge, big successes or big, huge improvements, and just celebrating all of that along the way, because we know that that mind-body connection, thinking about that and understanding that and feeling that and celebrating it actually has an overall wellness. It improves your immune system, and it also gives you time to really see how what you're doing wonderfully for your life and the steps that you're taking to move into wellness and live your most vibrant life. So,
Oh,
and the great things that you can do in addition to is a gratitude journal. That's one of the things that a lot of us are talking about. Um, and that is also an example of what you can do in both of those areas.
thank you for tuning in tonight. And if you tune into the call for the recording later, we're glad that you came. Please share the information out, like and subscribe to our social media and our YouTube channel.